Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a response to Rockboy680's contest for his 500 subscribers. First of all, I just want to say well done. That is a very impressive number of subscribers, and I'm proud to be one of them. It's great watching a lot of your videos, and it's also great being able to be part of your contest. Sorry it took me a couple of weeks to actually get around to filming it, but I've been pretty busy recently, and I also had like a huge backlog of videos I just need to get out of the way, like them Kinks videos. But anyway, I'm here now, so I'm going to start off with the first record I played on my current system. I got that for Christmas in the year 2013, so a year and a bit ago I got this, and the first record I played on it was this. It's the Beatles' Free as a Bird 7-inch, although I actually played the B-side first, which is Christmas Time Is Here Again. You know, I just thought it was rather fitting for the season. So this is the very first record I ever tested my new system out on as well, and it sounded great. First thing I played on Christmas morning. I like the picture cover for this. It's pretty basic on the front. I think this is one of John Lennon's drawings, possibly from one of his books in his own right, maybe. I'm not too sure. I'd have to look into that. And the back is very much like the back of the anthology albums. It's almost like an easel or a packing case. I think more like an artist's easel. And there's the two tracks. This is Free as a Bird. Was a demo John Lennon did. Aged like I think in the 60s, although it was posthumously released after his death. And this is on the Apple label. Nice bit of 90s vinyl. Don't see too much of that, especially for Beatles. Okay, now for my favourite live album. I did think of quite a few live albums for this, although my mind always kept bringing me back to this one, Wings Over America. I know this is quite a few people's favourites, and I can see why. It is an amazing live album. It's a triple album as well, and this is, funnily enough, not the only triple album Paul McCartney did, because he did Trip the Live Fantastic, which is also a triple live album, although I think this one just kind of wins it for me. I'll tell you some of the reasons why this is my favourite live album. First of all, this has one of the greatest introductions to an album I've ever heard, because on side one, the tracks are Venus and Mars, Rock Show, Jet, Let Me Roll It, Spirits of Ancient Egypt, Medicine Jar. And that entire first side is an amazing intro to the album, especially as Venus and Mars, Rock Show and Jet are all kind of just linked into one big thing, and there's amazing power. All the band, you know, at the height, I think this is Wings at the finest, sort of mid-70s. I also like, because obviously it's a triple album, so they've got a lot of room to cover a lot of material. They've got stuff, I think, from pretty much every album, stuff from his first album, like Maybe I'm Amazed, and some slightly more recent albums, Magneto and Titanium Man, You Gave Me the Answer, they're all from Venus and Mars. He's got a couple from Band on the Run as well, Red Bull Speedway with My Love. So he's got a whole range of his career on here, I think. And it's also got the, I believe, exclusive track named Soily, which is the very last song on side 6, so the song that ends the album. Also a very, very good way to end the album. That's an unusual song, because it's got some really weird effects in it, but I think it's really, really good actually. I enjoy hearing that one. So yeah, sheer power, amazing vocals and instruments on this album. It's just brilliant overall, very powerful. I also like the cover for this album as well. It's got like a plane or a jet on the thing here, I believe, on the front and back cover. And I love the inner gatefold of it. It's got the whole band playing. Paul and Linda and Denny and Jimmy and yeah, I've forgotten the other guy's name. Joe English, yeah. Yeah, but I think it's absolutely great gatefold cover, and you get a really cool poster as well. And I like that all the labels are different. So I think 10 out of 10 for the design on this album, as well as the actual material on it. So absolutely love that. Next is my favourite soundtrack. But I think by the end of this video you're going to tell which sort of band and solo, which sort of band I'm biased to. But here's another Paul McCartney one. Give my regards to Broad Street. love this album a lot. I still haven't seen the film in my regards to Broad Street, but I do mean to at some point. Anyway, when I first saw this, I didn't really think it was going to be that good, you know. But this album really took me by surprise because I think it's absolutely brilliant. The LP is actually a slightly more condensed version of the album than you get on the cassette, and although I haven't actually heard it, I assume the cassette's what you get on the CD as well, because on the cassette you get a lot more of the instrumental music, whereas on the LP it's either been shortened or it's just not there. Mainly this takes place on Eleanor's Dream, which is side 2, track 6, Eleanor Rigby / Eleanor's Dream. Eleanor's Dream on this cassette tape is like a 5-6 minute long instrumental. After that, it's not on here. It only lasts about 30 seconds. Which, to be honest, I kind of prefer. You know, I mean, I'm not against instrumentals. Don't get me wrong, but I think it just starts to get a bit boring when you hear about 10 minutes worth of music before you then hit another song. You know. But anyway, as far as the material on the album's concerned, I think it's brilliant. No More Lonely Nights is one of my absolute favourite McCartney songs. There's quite a few Beatles stuff on here as well. A Good Day Sunshine and Here, There and Everywhere. I actually love the version of Here, There and Everywhere he does. I think that's as good as the Beatles version. Wanderlust I think it's a great song too. I really like the version of Silly Love Songs he does on this album. I think it's about as good as the album version. I think the intro is a bit different because it hasn't got the I can't do it, but like it hasn't got the same intro, which I do like on the album. But I think it's still a very good version. It's also got a reprise on side 2, which you don't really hear on the album, but you hear it more on the cassette. Not Such a Bad Boy is one of my favourite album tracks on this album by far. Very, very catchy. There's a few other okay ones, like No Values. And then another reprise, there's No More Lonely Nights reprise. Then For No One, Eleanor Rigby, Long and Winding Road, more Beatles ones. And then No More Lonely Nights, the play-out version, which is just kind of more upbeat. Well, I'd say rockier version, you know, but it's kind of faster, upbeat version of No More Lonely Nights, which I also really, really like. That's very, very catchy. So yeah, this has got to be my favourite soundtrack at the moment. So there we are. Now on to my favourite portion of this contest, the favourite colour picture vinyl. And I've chosen what is, without a shadow of a doubt, my favourite in that category. The King's Village Green Preservation Society on the green splatter vinyl, mono and stereo. I've shown this in 1 or 2 videos before, but you know, I'll have any opportunity to take it out again. Yeah, so you get mono in one side and stereo on the other side. I'll show you the mono record first. Here we go. So, absolutely gorgeous green splatter vinyl there. Apparently each one's unique, you know, each one has a slightly varied pattern, which I think is great. I mean, when you hold these up to the light, they're absolutely brilliant, because you can really see the patterns then. But yeah, I love splatter vinyl in general, but I think the makers of this one have absolutely excelled themselves, I think, on the design. And on the side 2, it's a slightly different design. It's got like more of a yellow orangey fleck into the splatter design here. Which I think is also really, really nice. So that's absolutely great. I think that looks fantastic. I'll put this away and I'll take out the stereo one. It sounds great as well, actually, because sometimes coloured vinyl can sound not quite as good as black, but this sounds absolutely phenomenal. So top marks for these guys here. Anyway, here's side 3 and side 4. Yeah, it's essentially the same as the other one, but still, what a work of art, you know, what an absolute work of art. I mean, I'd almost frame these, to be honest, if I didn't like playing them, you know, because I just think that they're absolutely great. So I'm very pleased to have that. And this was a numbered release. This is copy number 27 out of 1,000, which is very, very early, so happy about that. Although, of course, my main feature of the album is just the coloured vinyl. But yeah, I think it's great to have one of my favourite albums of all time on my favourite colour vinyl as well, green. So, well, hey, you can't get much better than that. In mono and stereo, and an early number. You know, I mean, this is the perfect record for me. Really, you know, Kinks-wise, certainly. And on to the last part of the contest, to show a box set of some description. I know it didn't have to be music related, but I have chosen to do a music related box set. And of course, which band other than the Beatles? This is a collection of Beatles singles with Tony Sheridan that they did sort of before the mainstream stuff, before they became very famous. And you can get this on red vinyl and blue vinyl. This is the red vinyl edition. I showed this one of my Beatles vinyl updates a while back, because I got this in Liverpool last August. It's really good. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 records in. Record 1 is My Bonnie and the Saints. Record 2, Let's Dance and Ya Ya. Record 3, Sweet Georgia Brown and My Bonnie with a German intro. Record 4, Cry for a Shadow and Why. And record 5, it's got Love Me Do and the P.S. I Love You. The Love Me Do is the single version with Ringo on drums, not Alan White as was in the album version. So it's got both versions of My Bonnie as well, because there's the one with the slow introduction, and there's the one where it just jumps in straight in the chorus. Off the top of my head, I can't remember which one's which. The German one could be the slow one, I think. I'm not quite sure. But the slow one's always the one I prefer. So, but it's nice to have both versions on there. And this is a very recent release, I think, within the last year. I'll show you the inside. Take the records out. They're all the same, so I won't bother showing them all, but I'll just show this one in more detail. But the one I picked out is My Bonnie and the Saints. Yep. So they've all got these black inner sleeves, and they've got nice, thick, chunky red vinyl. So I think that also looks great. I think it's nice that they've concentrated on releasing a lot of the earlier stuff. Got a hair on there. From sort of before the main Beatles kind of came about. You know, so I think it's good that they've actually released a box set of the Tony Sheridan stuff, which a lot of people might not have known before, or would have just have had to sort of go on YouTube and find it, you know, because I know that they've got the Tony Sheridan album that was released in the 70s, but nothing really's been done with these recordings since then, so I'm happy that they've finally done something else with it. And again, these records sound great, you know, so yeah, I think this is a really nice little box set. Isn't too expensive, you know, and you get five quality singles with 10 tracks across the lot, so yeah, I think that's a great piece. Right, that's the end of my response. I hope you enjoyed that, and once again, Rockboy, congratulations on your 500 subscribers. I'll remain one for the foreseeable future, I think, forever in fact. So thanks for watching, and I'll see everyone next time.